Okay, so leading up to the 2025 NFL Draft, one of the biggest critics of Shedeur Sanders was FS1's Colin Cowherd. I recall there were plenty of clips circulating of him saying Shedeur didn't want to go to certain teams or that his pre-draft interviews went horribly wrong. Basically, a lot of negative stuff, and it wasn't just Cowherd, as there were a lot of media outlets pushing these narratives. Anyways, I want you to listen to what Colin said about Shedeur on Friday because he basically makes a U-turn on his position and brings some receipts to back up his claims. Have a listen.
So I got into this discussion last night. We were talking about Shedeur Sanders, and he's a fan of Shedeur Sanders. And I said, I could never understand how I missed that badly on a quarterback. I said, I thought he was like a mid to late first round guy, maybe top of the second, and he dropped to the fifth round. But I was thinking about this. He's looked pretty good. I mean, Greg Cosell this week came on and said, yeah, it's early, but those are big time throws. So let's just say Shedeur Sanders does become a franchise quarterback. And through 3 starts with the weakest receiving room in the NFL, 32nd. Worst receiving room in the NFL, PFF, 32nd. Third worst offensive line, PFF. He's got nothing to work with. 5 touchdowns, 2 picks, 94 passer rating. Should also be noted that Shedeur Sanders did not get any work with the ones before he started, right? It was Dylan Gabriel getting all of it because Dylan Gabriel was a rookie. So he's got the 3rd worst O-line in the league, the worst wide receiving room in the league, did not work with number ones, and yet 8 of the top 12 teams drafting currently in the NFL at the top of the draft board are desperate for a quarterback. And people thought Shedeur, NFL GM said, hey, he's a little immature. I agree. He's not serious enough for my taste. So I think the NFL wanted to send sort of a message. Straighten up, young man. I'll say it again. 5th round. Every team in this league passed on him at least 4 times. Do you realize with the worst receiving core in the league and the 3rd worst offensive line, since becoming a starter, Shedeur is the best rookie quarterback in the league? Total yards, total touchdowns, big plays, passing yards and attempts. He's the best rookie quarterback since he got the start. Again, not much around him. So some of these NFL teams, I think, said, we're just going to send a message. He thinks he's a celebrity. I kept saying he's the most accurate college quarterback in the sport's history. He moves pretty well. He's a big play guy. And I don't know if he's going to be a franchise quarterback. I don't know. But I know what I'm watching, and I know what he has to work with. Now, I like Stefanski a lot. But it is interesting. Anytime, go look at the draft order right now. 8 of the 12 teams at the top could use a quarterback. And everybody passed on him. And it's not like they passed on him. Like, you can say, well, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was reckless and small. He was not viewed by a single GM I talked to as a top 4-round quarterback. Some liked him late 5th, 6th. There's a reason he dropped. And if he didn't have Shanahan and Kittle and McCaffrey, my guess is we wouldn't be talking about Brock Purdy every Sunday or every other Sunday. Shedeur's got nothing to work with. Shanahan is viewed as a higher grade coach than Stefanski. I like both a lot. But it is pretty fascinating in a league desperate for a certain position. 8 teams minimum need one, if not this year, in 2 years. And he dropped to the 5th round as the most accurate college quarterback ever, not playing with a lot of NFL guys in college.
Okay, so those were some pretty damning receipts. The fact that Shedeur leads all rookie QBs in big pass plays is really surprising when considering that he just started playing with the ones. Honestly, for myself, I was on the fence with Shedeur, but after watching him getting better and better in each of his 3 starts, it's hard to say that he shouldn't have been a first-round pick. And the fact that 8 teams were in need of a QB is just crazy, and that all these teams passed on him 4 times. Look, I'm still saying the jury's out on Shedeur, as we still need to see a bit more from him, but I think it's safe to say the early signs and his progress does look quite impressive. For sure, more impressive than Dylan Gabriel, but I'd like to see a couple more starts out of Shedeur to get a real sense of where he's at in his progression. Anyways, what do you all think about what Colin said and the numbers he gave to back it up?